Thank you very much, Barry. First of all, this was an excellent meeting, and I learned a lot. Um, well, of course, we are also facing COVID, although we are in a better situation currently. But this is a major issue which takes a lot of sources from the hospital and from the staff. But we continue with our regular activities in hematology, in both on clinical grounds as well as in the thrombosis research. I think there are some interesting findings regarding COVID, by the way. There was a Cell paper from Sweden and California 2 months ago suggesting that heparan sulfate is a receptor for the virus like the ACE2. So maybe it's associated also with the pathogenesis as well as the possibility to do something regarding the infectivity of the virus by using heparins or actually drugs that could be developed according to the PARNase. So I think we're really very interesting times for clinical research as well as, of course, for basic research. And again, thank you.
Thank you, Benny. Before we move on to Sylvia, just a note for all the South Africans and other overseas people who joined in, please make sure that if you email us your registration numbers, that we can issue a certificate for continuing medical education for those people that haven't done it. Can we ask Sylvia of what's going on in Germany and her views and her insights?
Thank you, Barry. Well, in Germany, as you may know, we are in the middle of the second wave, and we are still considering whether it may be too late or perhaps in time to also contribute to the ethics study, which you mentioned earlier this morning. And because we're now seeing the patients, but first of all, I would like to thank you, Barry, the president of the South African Society of Thrombosis and Hemostasis, for the great opportunity and my privilege to participate and to contribute to this distinguished program this morning. I think we had really, really interesting presentations. Although it was virtual, it was the one of the best way to do it this time. I'm confident that although we may not have overcome COVID next year, that perhaps there will be another opportunity for a face-to-face meeting. Let's keep our fingers crossed. But I think this experience with the virtual conference was absolutely fantastic to overcome all the hurdles we had so far. I won't finish without a personal thank to Mervyn. Mervyn, you admire Nelson Mandela, so do I, and that's why I also want to close my short statement with a quotation of Nelson Mandela, especially complimenting to you. It says, everyone can rise about him or herself and achieve something if he or she does it with dedication and passion. And that's what you are practicing, what you have taught and told us. And my personal wish is, may your own health and strength be sufficient to continue to meet the ongoing challenges of COVID-19 in the near future. With this, I thank you so much.
Thank you, so we all concur. We hope Mervyn stays healthy. We need him.
Absolutely.
Harry.
Yeah, thanks very much. Of course, I really enjoyed Mervyn's talk. It's unbelievable. I think I have nothing to add to what Sylvia already and Benny already mentioned. I think thanks to the great Trump, we will have a vaccine very soon. And so we'll see each other next year.
And last but by certainly means not least, AJ, if you wouldn't mind closing the meeting.
Well, Mr. President, it is, as always, a very great pleasure and privilege on behalf of all of your overseas visitors who have had to contribute digitally on this occasion, to thank you and the Society for your very kind hospitality and invitation to participate in what has been, of course, an outstanding programme. I think all speakers have made substantial contributions. We have all learnt something from each of the presentations. And as always, we finish with Mervyn's contribution, which not only combines great science, thoughtful and insightful clinical practice, but compassion and decency, which are, of course, the hallmarks of medical practice, and the humanity that we all learn from looking at the broader experience in South Africa and its long-term and more recent history is sobering for all of us. I think in terms of the particular challenges we face globally, again, we need to bring to bear not only great science, but intuitive clinical practice, and of course, our determination to serve others, because that is the force that gives momentum to all the efforts, both intuitive clinical practice and formal clinical research that has the capacity to help so many others. And this society, Mr. President, sits at the heart of that effort in South Africa. And we congratulate you for another brilliant meeting and look forward to our reunion next year physically in South Africa, when we will be able to reflect on so much that's happened in the world, both clinically and scientifically, but also politically and economically. And outside the confines of the scientific meeting, start to reflect upon what civil society will have to do to deal with the social consequences of what has been an unprecedented impact on humanity. But at this moment in time, I say thank you to you, Mr. President, and to everybody else for this marvelous meeting.
Thank you, AJ. And hopefully, God willing, we'll all be together in Johannesburg next year.
Indeed.
Everyone, thank you for joining. We really appreciate all our speakers, and thank you very much for taking the time. For our overseas guests, I know it was an ungodly hour to start in the morning, but thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.